Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome and the like. I also create some mental health and awareness series based on some tips and tricks along the way, or tips and advice for how to manage your everyday personal struggles, regardless what it may be. I also do some Beauty from Ashes type series regardless of your personal everyday struggles, what you go through, and hopefully with that I will give you some light, inspiration and encouragement to get through your day regardless what you are going through. So no further ado, guys, basically if you haven't seen my channel right now, I clearly suggest to do so, because it's a lot more what I do as well at this point of time, which I'm currently hoping to do more soon when it comes to effect. So it has brought to my attention that at the moment, as I said, that there's going to be some more mental health and awareness series, because obviously that's where I lie with health related topics, whatever it may be, even though yes, I know there'll be a lot to take in of certain everyday topics, but that's fine. Some of these everyday topics, whatever I bring out of these mental health disorders or whatever it may be, you know, they'll be step by step, easy to follow hopefully. So I clearly suggest to maybe watch them bit by bit as just a gentle reminder, and also as a gentle reminder, as a disclaimer, as always, I'm no medical doctor. I'm just your normal Joe blogs, and I just basically share my life stories. And if you see any, you know, signs and symptoms that I share of these different mental health disorders that I clearly address to you, all seek professional help, or second opinion or advice for yourself or for your loved one. So this one is obviously how to recognize social anxiety disorders series. As I said, I'll be broken down bit by bit. So this one's obviously part 5, managing SAD. So as you know, basically, just to remind you all, that some of these will be abbreviated down for some of these mental health disorders or whatever it may be. Some of them may seem repetitive as such, maybe, I don't know, but you can be the judge of that. But therefore I humbly apologize in advance anyways, so that, you know, it should be just drumming into us right now as a key reminder how to handle our everyday situations regardless what it may be. So, you know, no judgment there hopefully. So bear with me on that one. In the bare front though, guys, as we know, basically this can be a good indicator just to learn from each other and whatnot. So in all further ado, guys, basically hopefully you're enjoying your day or whatever it may be that you're going through today, and hopefully we can learn from each other. So let's begin this. Tip number 1 for managing SAD of method 5 is practice deep breathing. Yes, you got that right. We know in a given moment, you know, we have a stressful day or whatever it may be, or during the times when we are stressed out, we may experience certain symptoms like our heart's racing 90 mile a minute, so it's elevated, it's raised basically, and then we obviously begin to sweat pouring down our face, so to speak. Then our muscles tend to tense up, and then maybe we often will face shallow breathing. But in saying that, however, we know that deep breathing can help to decrease these negative symptoms that we may feel, that I'm just clearly addressing to you, of these symptoms of stress, by helping to regulate our nervous system and other bits and pieces. So obviously what you could do is, as a advice mechanism, is start by placing one hand on your cheek and one hand on your stomach. Take a deep breath in through your nose, counting to whatever amount of numbers. Some suggest 5 to 10, but I do it between 5 to 10 on the count as we breathe in. Then exhale through your mouth, counting the same amount of times that while you were inhaling. While doing so, your muscles in the stomach area should be tightening as we're exhaling all of the air. So you'll be able to feel the diaphragm rising and falling if you're correctly breathing in and out. You can repeat this process, however, 5 times with an average of 1 breath per 10 seconds if you can do so. Number 2, put a stop to your negative thoughts. It's a given. As we go through our everyday struggles, regardless what it may be, through our mental health disorders or just certain general life time experiences that we go through a breakup of a relationship, or just that we feel that we've been let go from work, becoming made redundant or whatever, you know, we tend to have negative thoughts that clouds through our mind, right? Negative thoughts can obviously, however, just to bear in mind, make social anxiety worse. So it's therefore important to stop ourselves in our tracks when we have that negative thought. So to bear in mind though, the next time you may have a negative thought, don't just let it go by. Take a moment to analyse that thought, but not to dwell on it too long, and try to see what its flaws are. An example here, just to give you a clear illustration, however, a negative thought might be, I'm going to make a fool of myself in front of everyone when I give this presentation. If you find yourself thinking something like this, then ask yourself, do I know that I will make a fool of myself? And if I mess up, does that mean that people will think I'm dumb? Your answers to these questions should be no and no, because you cannot know what people may think or do otherwise. The more likely outcome is that you will do a good job and no one will think you are dumb. So it's quite the opposite onto what you're actually thinking and feeling at that given time. Number 3, take good care of yourself. As a given, obviously, we need to basically take good care of ourselves with our, mannerisms, not mannerisms as such, but just our everyday stuff that we go through. Be it eating, dieting, exercising, whatever it may be. Because this can help you deal through the day of facing your social anxiety or any mental health disorder. Eating well, getting enough sleep and exercising regularly can help you feel better mentally and physically. It will boost up your immune system, it will boost up your endorphins, your happy little wee chemicals obviously, and whatnot. Then therefore after that, basically we need to make sure that we're eating right and well, basically getting enough regular exercise to make us feel our best. There are ways of doing this also is just we need to eat a balanced diet that may include plenty of fresh fruit, vegetables, whole grains and lean protein. We need to bear in mind though, we need to have our little sleep to about 7-9 hours per night. Exercise is obviously important, but this has been debatable, however, of how long you should exercise for. Some say you should, if you do it as short as 15 to 20 minutes, that's more than enough. Some say 30 minutes, but that's up to us. But then again, 3 times a week is recommended maybe. And then last but not least is limiting your caffeine and alcohol intake. It's a given with the stimulants of these guys or what have you that they can do more harm than good, obviously, for having this, because it can make your anxiety even worse than it was. Tip number 4, consider seeing a mental health therapist for help. It's a given that when we are working our way through our social anxiety or mental health illness, it can be hard doing it on our own. Okay, it is a given. If you or yourself or someone you know of your loved one has SAD, consider getting help from a licensed mental health professional. But bear in mind though, do not try to push your loved one into it if they feel they're not ready to do so. A mental health professional can help you to identify the root of your social anxiety or anything in that matter of what you're going through, and then they'll work through these issues with you. You might also consider attending a behavioural therapy group for people with social anxiety. These groups can help you to build your confidence and learn cognitive behavioural techniques that can improve your ability to handle difficult situations. Last but not least, number 5, ask your doctor about medications. Medication alone cannot cure social anxiety, but it can be useful in some situations. But bear in mind though the side effects that comes into play. Some medications may be more effective than others for your situation, so therefore, again, talk to your doctor about the symptoms and side effects, as well as maybe some of the options that they can give to you of certain medications that they may be able to opt out to give to you. Common medications, however, for SAD may include the following: benzodiazepines such as NSAIDs, beta blockers such as Enderal or Tenormin, monoamine oxidase inhibitors or MAOIs such as Nadia, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or your SSRIs, as you've clearly heard me pronounce it as, such as your Prozac, Luvix, Zoloft, Paxil, Lexapro, serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors or SNRIs such as your Effixa XR, and Cymbalta. But you got to remember, as I said before, for this of the medications, we need to know what's in the given of what's good for us and what's not good for us, because obviously at the end of the day we need to be our mind, what works for us and what doesn't. So this basically ends quickly of how to recognize social anxiety part 4, or is it part 5? I should correct myself, sorry. Give me the like for thumbs up for support and engagement. Comment below if I've missed out anything, or just feel free to comment and give me a hello, what's up, SB kind of talk or whatever. Feel free to also give me feedback on the comments below too, because obviously I would love to see how I'm progressing on, because it'll be much appreciated. Obviously, private message me if you feel the need or have to under my AspieAnswersAll on Facebook, or even on here on the YouTube. Feel free to, follow me on my social media sites if you haven't done so already. Feel free to also share these videos around to your family and friends. In all honesty, guys, do what you love what you do. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Aspie signing out, and I'll see you all again soon.